So hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the Sketchbook app to help you become familiar with some of the tools and features available to you. Before you begin drawing, you're going to need to go ahead and download the Sketchbook app, and you can do that through self-service. To do so, you click on self-service, come down here to the bottom on the right to hit search, and you can type in the word Sketchbook, and you'll see it pop up here. It's actually called Autodesk Sketchbook. That's the right one. Go ahead and click install, and when you do install, it'll pop up on your iPad screen. When you click on the app itself, it's going to bring you to your gallery. When you first start, you're not going to have anything in your gallery, but eventually it'll be sort of like a portfolio you can scroll through. To start a new piece, you're going to come down here and click that plus sign, and it's going to give you some options. You're going to click on the first one that says New Sketch. When you do that, it does give you some options for how big you would like your sketch and your orientation. There are some presets here, and they are preset in pixels. I'm going to choose 1800 by 2400. And you do have the option to change it from portrait mode or vertical orientation, if you click this little button here, over to landscape mode or horizontal orientation. I'm going to go with horizontal. When you're happy and you're ready to go, you can click create. All right, so when you get here, the first thing I would recommend doing is to actually just go ahead and pinch your canvas a little bit smaller, so that way you can sort of orient yourself a little bit easier. Here we have, I'm saying canvas, right? This is like sort of like your piece of paper. This is your actual artwork. This gray area is going to be sort of the table, and you can really pinch this really small and rotate it any which way you want, and you'll use that to your advantage as you're creating. Up top we have this bar, this menu bar. We'll go through that one first. Then we're going to pop over here to all of our different tools that we have. We'll talk about this thing here, which is called a double puck. And then on the right hand side, last but not least, we'll talk about our layers. All right, so starting up at the top, how do we get back to our gallery, right? Where is like the home button? That's actually right over here. All the way on the left, we have like this bullet list. If you click on that, you're gonna see you can actually start a new sketch right from here, or you can jump back to your gallery. You also have control of your preferences and sharing abilities here. To get rid of this, just click on that icon again. Then right next to that, you're gonna see your undo and your redo buttons. Those are gonna be your best friends sometimes to click undo a bunch of times. And then in the middle, this kind of scrolls a little bit. You have access to all of these basic features like a selection tool, a move tool, paint bucket, some guides, symmetry, creating some shapes. You can add a picture. This is perspective and even text. And we'll go through those as we continue on in our instruction. But all the way on the right, I also want to point out this little symbol here. It's kind of like a rectangle with 3 lines. That's going to take away all of your toolbars. So if I click on that, everything sort of disappears and you can just see your artwork, which is really nice. But I did that by accident once and I was like, oh my God, where'd everything go? Just click that button again and it'll all come back, okay? It's just important to note that that is there. All right, so where's all the fun stuff? Well, that's going to be over here. These are all of your tools. Well, actually, these aren't all of your tools. This is just sort of the quick access to some of your tools. Where are all of your tools? Well, actually, if you click that button right up top, that's going to open up your library of tools. And when I say tools, I'm talking about all of your artistic tools like pencils, pens, erasers, brushes, markers, like everything is in here. Do you see that? Even halftones, textures, shapes, splatter. You're gonna love this one called Glow. That's really cool. Look how many, so many. Now this is a free app. I think this is a lot of tools to start with actually. You also can download some tools. I think they're actually called brush sets, if you can see that right there. But to access that library, you're gonna click on that icon way up top like this. And then there are settings for each one of these tools, and they all do something different. And they actually really do behave like the real tools in person, or physical tools. So if you've used graphite pencils here, you can see I've got the 6B pencil selected. They are going to act just like they do in real life, which is really quite nice. Now, like I said, you do have control over your tools. If I click on that tool again, you're going to see it opens up to settings. This is going to be the basic. You don't really have it, whoops, sorry. You don't have access to the advanced stuff because I think you have to pay for that. But you do have access to changing the size of the tool with this slider and the opacity, or how see-through that tool is. Now, I think this is pretty annoying to like go here and then have to click back to make it bigger and do that again, right? And I think the designers understood that that was a little annoying as well, so they added these sliders right to the side. Do you see that? So this top one is going to be your size. You see, whoa, really big, and you'll see this like little sort of circle around it. You can go pretty, really small. Let's see if I can even see it. And it can go pretty big as well. And then you do have access to the opacity. So this is full force opacity. This is 100%. It's going to be really dark. If I pull this down all the way to, let's put it to 50, and I push the same pressure, it's going to be a gray tone. Now I am using the Apple pencil, and this is pressure sensitive. You're probably going to be using your stylus provided by the school. You can even use your finger, right, to be drawing with this. But this is not pressure sensitive, so just be aware of that. All right, I made a little bit of a mess. I'm gonna get rid of some of this by hitting my back button up top, or my undo button. I can take away some of that stuff there. But you do have access to that, again, one more time, if you click on the tool here under your settings, or right here on the side of those sliders. So I wanna encourage you to play with these tools here and to see how they interact with one another. Here, if I click on my smudge stick or my tortillon, I like to call it, this does work, right? It smudges it around. You have access to different kinds of erasers. This one is called the hard eraser, and it's just like those erasers that you have that you just, right? Hard eraser. The next one down is a cashmere eraser. That's gonna be a little bit softer, right? Try out the different pens that we have. Different brushes. Let's see what this one is going to do. Different types of brushes. Let's get that bigger, right? And they'll create different types of textures. Now, so far in our composition, we've only been using black ink or pigment for all these different types of tools. And you may be wondering like, okay, well, how do I change that color? You're going to do that by accessing this double puck right down here. Now you can move this around. If this is annoying to you, you can click right here on this gray part and hold it, and you can actually move it anywhere you like if you rather it over here for quick access, depending on if you're right or left-handed. But as you can see, the color is right down here that I'm using black right there. Now before I click on the color, I want to show you, you do have control over your tool by clicking here as well. The same thing is going to pop up for your settings here in your double puck, here with the tool on the sidebar, or even in your library. So you have access to that same area for settings in 3 different ways. But to change your color, you're going to click on the color that you see here, which is black, and it's going to open up your color controls. Now right up top it has color and Copic. If you click on Copic, it has all different colors from the brand Copic markers. If you're interested in that, please take a look through, but I'm going to stick over here with color, and there's 2 main ways that you can adjust your color. First and foremost with the hue, and that's going to be just the color in general. So if I click on this first ring and pull that around, you can see the color is changing all around the rainbow. Let's come over here to like a red-orange color. And then you have control over the intensity. So you can see here the second circle here is over in this corner of this diamond shape, and that's going to be the pure hue. If you click and hold and bring that all the way up, it's going to be white. If you bring that all the way down, it's going to go to black. And then between black and white over here on this corner is gray. So that helps you control the intensity of color. I'm going to stick with the pure hue over here to keep it really vibrant for us. Now, once you have the color that you want, you can go ahead and click on your canvas again and start to draw or paint or whatever it is that you're doing. If you want to change your color, you can come back over here and click again and change whatever color you want. Let's go over to like a yellow-orange color and start to draw again. Now say that you really want to get back to that orange that you were using, but you don't want it, say like, what if it was like in here somewhere and not just pure orange, right? Like, how do I get back to that? Well, actually, I want to call your attention to this little dot down here. I clicked on it by accident again when I was, experimenting with the app, and it startled me with this halo of little tools. You actually have access to an eyedropper tool right here. Do you see that? If I click on eyedropper, it's going to open it up. I'm going to find it, click and hold and drag it around to find that color, and I can grab it back, and then I'll have it back in my tool, and I can start to draw again. All right, before we talk about layers, I just want to finish talking about this little dot down here. If I click on that again, I want to go over these tools that are down here. We have our last brush, transparent color, the eyedropper like we said, that double puck, and flip canvas. We're going to talk more about those as we continue on, but if you ever lose your double puck, this guy over here, I lost him once, he was just gone for me. It's because I accidentally clicked on this. Watch here, this turns that off. So the double puck is gone, because sometimes it's annoying, it's sort of in the way. If you want to get it back, again, click on that dot and click that double puck again to bring it back. And what's really cool is that first one right here, the last brush. If I click on that, watch, it's going to change, it's going to change my brush here. If I click on this one, it's going to bring me back to the last one I was using, which apparently was this guy here, our technical pen. So that's really nice if you want to flip back and forth between one tool and the other. Maybe you're using graphite pencil and a tortillon or an eraser. That's really quite nice to have access to. Okay. All right, so that's where I'm actually gonna stop for this video. I know we didn't talk about our layers over here. I'm gonna break this video up and talk about that in the next one. For now, I just want you to realize how much we did talk about. We learned how to download the app, how to start up our canvas. We talked about this entire bar up top and our sidebar and all of the tools and controls we have over here. So my advice to you is to take a moment and go into the app, download it, play around like I just did and experiment, and then come back for part 2 to learn about layers and how that can help you move forward. All right, I'll see you in the next video.